Hey, welcome to Pat Soundbytes Unplugged podcast. Keeping new music alive on the radio and the video is what I do. And man, do I got a show for you today. I got to hand it to this band. As you see behind me, Fastest Land Animal, a little flat iron, a little steer for a little shark, and over in Phoenix, a little like lifeguard chair. But man, has Fastest Land Animal has left the gate full throttle with their debut album, which came out in March of 2021. And I got to talk to the wonderful John Cusimano, who's on the On Deck Circle, and I'm going to bring back in about a minute. And they haven't stopped at all. And now with the sophomore album out that came out last month, East Coast, West Coast, in between, this nonstop band's musical journey marathon, call it what you wish, continues to explode, staying true to their elements of high energy in your face. Call it punk, call it power pop, call it 80s new wave. I call it all of the above, whatever you want to define it. They are killing it. As I said, I got John on the On Deck Circle, and you know what I do because we live in a video world and video can go viral. And you know what we're talking about because you know I'm going to play the crap out of a lot of these tracks out of this killer album. I played a video, so sit back and time to rock a little Fastest Land Animal with Next to You. A lot of you probably are going to be familiar with this track. We're going to talk to John about that and a whole lot more in 30 seconds.
I can't stand it for another day when you live so many miles away. Nothing here is gonna make me stay. You took me over, let me far away. I sold my house, I sold my motor too. All I want is to be next to you. I'd rob a bank, maybe steal a plane. You took me over, think I'm gonna say, what can I do? All I want is to be next to you. What can I do? All I want is to be next to you.
Say, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Fastest Land Animal, it's all about the numbers these days. All right, where's my big Yankee fan, John Cusimano? Come on back.
Hey,
There he is. He's back.
Hey,
Welcome back, John. Great to see you.
great to see you too, Patch. I like your shirt. We know those dudes in Bad Marriage.
I know you do because I got a story for you about all that. But anyway, welcome back, my friend John Screaming Jack Novak. My goodness, congratulations on the success of not only the debut album, but this album. Holy crap, John. I mean, wow.
Thank you so much. I mean, we're happy to be back out in front of crowds and playing live. You know, we were trapped in our houses for a while like everyone else when we did the first album, but now we're out. We're touring. We are playing gigs with the guys on your t-shirt and our mutual friends in the band Tesla, not to be confused with the car, and we're just happy to be back.
Oh my goodness. January 20th, Fastest Land Animal sophomore album, East Coast, West Coast, little flat iron, little beach, little steer for the shark guy. Officially released. Go and purchase it wherever you get your digital streaming platform. But as John says, they're hitting the road, so I recommend you buy it so John can sign it. You can't sign Spotify. You've heard enough of that from me. My goodness, John, approaching 1 million views on YouTube for the lyric videos of Cowboys in Nashville, Out of Rage, Next to You, Run and Hide. The momentum keeps going from the debut album, Too Close to the Fire, Answer in My Head, Bubble Candy. I mean, what do you do? I mean, nobody ever expected this, right? I mean, come on.
I don't know, man. I just keep writing songs. I'm part of it's called the Song Game. And it was started by my friend Bob Schneider, who's a Austin, Texas-based songwriter and very talented musician and performer. And every week, we are given an assignment, and the assignment is a phrase or a word. And there's about 20 of us, 18 of us in this little song game. It's like a an email thing, and you have to within a week write and record a song, including the incorporating the phrase that Bob comes up with. So it forces you to write a song every week, and it's not about like commenting on anyone else's songs. It's just about exercising that songwriting muscle. So at the end of the year, you've got 52 songs. Some of them suck. Some of them are good. Some of them are in between, but you at least have an album's worth of material that you can work with. And that really helps with, coming up with material for albums. And, the fastest land animal thing is really about, it's fastest land animal. So we have, we came up with a rule that every song needs to be at least 150 beats per minute. So when I'm writing my songs for the song game, I have that in mind, and I want it to be kind of like a punk rock thing. But with like, I'm really aware of having the, you need to have like a cleverly written song hidden within that punk rock, the punk rock
genre,
rapper.
Right. No, pretty cool. Can anybody do that? Can anybody join? Is there a charge, or this is just a friend, you hanging out with a group of friends working on doing this?
Yeah,
project?
it's like a group of friends thing. I don't.
That's a great idea.
You got to ask Bob. I mean, Bob is the guy in charge of who's in that. But there's like 18 of us. It got a little big and a little out of control, and then he kind of kicked some people out. But
the key is practice, practice, practice. I mean, so many people have got this lyric. I mean, I'm not a musician, John, but it's like, what is it? A rhyme book, fire and, desire. And I remember, we're going to talk about Next to You with the Police and that cover in the Sting. And I remember the story about every breath you take, or was it? No, every little thing is magic. And he couldn't think, what rhymes with magic? And it all of a sudden tragic, So yeah, I mean, but this is different because it makes you think, it makes you put together stuff. So like you said, some are good, some are not so good, but you're using the brain, and you're keeping yourself relevant, right? You're keeping yourself
the songwriting process it's a muscle like anything else, and you have to exercise it. And there is it's weird because there is a bit of this like something's out there in the ether, and it's like going fishing. Like, sometimes I'll sit here and try and write a song, and there's nothing, and I keep throwing out the cast, and then I'll catch something, and then you can write a song around that. And that's what's really exciting and kind of elusive about the songwriting process. But the more you do it, the better you get at it, obviously, like anything else. So that's what it's all about. It's just, you write a song every week of the year. And what's really fun is that sometimes you'll write something that you don't really like and you don't think it's useful. And that happened with this song called Cowboys in Nashville, which is on the album. I wrote that song, I don't know, like 15 years ago. And I kind of buried it because I didn't think it was really useful. And then we were, finishing up the album, and we needed another song. And I said, I have this thing. I think it could be a Fastest Land Animal song. It's fast. It's kind of punky sounding. It's got this really cool distorted vocal thing going on, but it's only like half written. But what do you guys think? And I played it for the band and our Don Gilmore, our producer. And they were all like, yes, that is a Fastest Land Animal song. So then I finished writing the song 15 years later.
My goodness, John, in 3 years, as we are into the 2023, I just want to, 2020, you come up with this idea, new band, new concept, and then we get this whole COVID thing. I mean, people are recording, but they're like reluctant to release the album because they can't tour. We're all in lockdown. And our last chat was, I know you lost a pet, and then the house fire before you go to Austin. And I'm like, just when people think you have a bad year or a bad day, John and his wonderful bride, Rachel, oh my goodness, Rachel Ray. I mean, they couldn't wait till 2020 to get out. 2021 comes, you release on March 5th the debut album, and it kicks ass and takes names. And who would ever think, when I first chatted with you, and I'm thinking of the sock puppets, and you create these fictional characters, which was really cool, of Jack Novak and Stark Samuels and Jonny Blades, I should say Alfonse and Andrew
Castillo. Yeah.
And I just wish that you stayed more discreet than you came out so quick that who you guys were, because it would have been interesting to see really what people like. Who are these guys? Not just me. I just thought, man, no, he came out too quick.
I totally agree with you, and I wanted to keep it secret until now. But we had a publicist that really wanted us to let everyone. It was really fun to have this album, our first album, come out during COVID, and no one knew who we were, and just have people judge the music on the music merits. And then there was a lot of cool things going on. People thought we were like, is this the Eagles of death metal guys? Is it Stone Age guys? Which is high praise for us indeed. But then we did do an appearance on the Howard Stern wrap-up show with my friend Gary Delabate and John Hine at the time, and Rasan. So at that point, we kind of had to let the cat out of the bag. So that's what happened. But it would have been fun to keep it a secret, even until now. I could have been like, do this, see who I am.
I just think it would have been, I mean, more people would have been going, what is this happening? But I want to fast forward, because I know you got another interview behind me. May 7th, I'm good friends with Frank Hannon, and my man Frank and the guys from Tesla. I'm like, Frank, we got to hook up, but he's playing like in Pennsylvania, and he's playing in New Hampshire, and I love Hampton Beach up there. And I go, look, I'm going to drive to Penn's Peak, and I'm going to hang out with you guys, Fritzy from Bad Marriage. And I walk in the door, it's all cool, and you guys take the stage. I go, holy shit, I know this guy. I'm like the only guy singing back to him. It was like people, I think because obviously the Cringe has opened up with Tesla, and those guys pretty well. And I was just watching the audience, and my buddy that was with me going, who is this guy? What is this? And I'm like laughing my ass off, because I know this set list, and that's why I had the shirt on today. But I wish I knew. I said to Jonny, I wish I knew John was opening. I would have loved to meet those guys. But yes, I was at your first show.
That's amazing, Patrick. And it was really fun because we were in another band previously called the Cringe,
right?
And then we started Fastest Land Animal, and the Cringe, we toured a lot with Tesla and Bad Marriage, and played a lot of these venues that you mentioned, like the Hampton Beach, New Hampshire, the Casino Ballroom, which I love that venue. It's amazing. And then COVID happened, and we were checked out for like a year and a half or so. Then we went back out, but we went back out as Fastest Land Animal with different names. And behind the scenes, it was like homecoming. We knew all the cats, the crew, of course, the band guys. We were like good buds with them, and the guys in Bad Marriage, the guys in Tesla. And so it was just so fun to go back to all these venues as different guys in a different band. And then we started playing for the crowds, and it was so funny because I saw that, you can kind of see what's going on in the crowd, and they're looking at me, and they're like, I know this isn't Screaming Jack Novak. That's John Cusimano. He's from the Cringe, I think, the other band, and now he's in a different band. So it was really like a big family homecoming, a big hug. And we just love touring with those guys.
That was cool. You're like, this is our first live show, and I'm like, but you're right. It was like you could just see where I was sitting. It was like people are like, what? Because they could relate to you. I don't know if they really picked up Alfonse or Andrew, but they can definitely know. I mean, you haven't changed one bit going, we know this guy. And then you look at the drum bass, and it says FLA, fastest land animal. But it was so cool. I said to Frank, oh my goodness, damn. I said, I'm going to catch these guys at the next one. But so cool. I got to talk about this track that you picked up, because I got this
look at that
album, 1978.
Dude.
I love this album. I think it's still one of their greatest albums out there. Why? Well, I kind of know why not. It's a perfect. That song fits this band, Fastest Land Animal, like a glove. It's fast. It kicks ass. I mean, you could have done. I mean, I was thinking earlier today, "Be My Girl" was maybe a little slow. I love "So Lonely," but "Next to You" really fits you well. So, talk to me about the story about that, John.
Well, we wanted to do, we'd never recorded. I mean, we played covers, live sometimes because it's kind of fun and it gets the crowd going. But we never recorded a cover before. And we decided, okay, some of our favorite bands recorded covers. Like the Beatles' first 2 albums, half the album was covers. David Bowie's, he has at least a cover on almost all of his albums. So we said we could do that. But we wanted to pick something that wasn't so on the nose and so obvious. So like we were going through iterations of different ideas. Like, so maybe like a Stooges cover or a Husker Du cover, something that wasn't so obvious that everyone would know it was a cover. So we're not really fooling people into thinking it's our song, but we're kind of fooling people into thinking it's our song. Because it's a song they kind of maybe know, but they think we wrote it, even though we didn't write it. So then our bass player, Alfonse, came up with the idea of "Next to You" by The Police. We all love The Police. And that first album, particularly, their first 2 or 3 albums have that real punk rock, new wave energy. And the songs are fast. So check that box for Fastest Land Animal. But it wasn't like "So Lonely" or Roxanne or something so obvious that people know it. It was an album track.
Right.
So that's why we picked it, just because it was something that wasn't so obvious and we could kind of claim it as our own, even though it's not our own, and let people, listen to it and discover it on their, on their own.
What caught my ear, John, was more synthesized in that one spot where The Police have more of a guitar thing.
Yeah, so the original track, it's all guitar and bass and drums. I don't think there's any synth on it at all. But when we recorded this album, we did a little bit of synth on our first album. And then this album, we kind of doubled down on the synth, but specifically analog, like vintage synths, not something that's in your computer that you can play and then kind of repair and fix. Like, I wanted to do analog synths. They have there's one, I don't know if people can see this, but
you can see it.
I mean, is a Moog. It's all analog. So there's like oscillators and you play it live. So whatever you play, you're going to get all the mistakes in there, and you can create dialing in oscillators and LFOs and different effects things. You can create a sound that's never been heard before, and it has a really like chewy, bassy, big, fat sound to it. It especially comes in really helpful when you're doing like sub bass lines. But I decided to do the guitar solo on the Moog. So I had to do 2 different tracks because it was monophonic, so I could only play one note at a time. So I had to do one line of music, and then the harmony I had to do separately, and then I would just do it over and over again until I nailed it and got it down, and then that's it. We flew it into the track. So it's a lot of fun. It's like playing it live, and it just sounds better. I don't know.
No, to me it fits like a glove, John. It is definitely a track for Fastest Land Animal. It would be cool to hear what Sting had to say about it. Like, yeah, why not? Hey, kicks ass and takes that. Excuse me, I'm getting rid of bronchitis. I hate it.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I went to the islands in the South Caribbean. It was great, drinking rum, doing karaoke. I come back to New York, home of, as you know, allergy capital of the world. And I'm like, no. But anyway, I see you got the incredible Don Gilmore back, and my goodness. And I know he did a couple Cringe albums, I believe, for you. And he's probably Fastest Land Animal member number 4 or 5. Because what does Don bring to the table besides being like a general contractor where he knows enough's enough? Stop right there. This is where it ends. Or John, work on this, or Alfonse, work on that. Is that what makes a really good record producer, having those kind of skill sets, being a good listener and knowing when to stop?
Yeah, I mean, that's the big part of his job. He's like, think of him as like the Martin Scorsese of the film. He's the director. So, we come to him with the music. He helps us with the arrangements. He doesn't necessarily write lyrics for me, but he works with me to keep writing and rewriting lyrics until they're where they need to be, that he thinks this is going to be a good song. And then he's really skilled at like knowing when we've nailed it. Like we did this, all the vocals on this album, the lead vocals and the backing vocals, in like 6 days. Because he doesn't overwork me. Like if I was left to my own devices, I would just keep singing and singing. I wouldn't know when it was right. I wouldn't know when I had what I needed to have. But Don's like, okay, you did it. You're good. Let's move on. But he just has good ears. He has good taste, and he knows how to, put the lasagna together, as it were.
Nice. I like that analogy. Rachel would like that analogy. What's he bring to the table for your vocals, John? Has he done stuff or told you to do things or bring you out of a range that you didn't know you had?
Yeah, I mean, he's
you got incredible vocals.
Thank you. Yeah, vocals are a real personal thing, and it's really kind of like it's just he clears out the room. It's just Don and me, and I'm really comfortable singing to him because sometimes when you're singing, like if I just sang to you right now, I'd be like, I kind of feel like a jerk. But Don, that's all gone, and he will have you sing a part, and then he knows he's got what he needs, and then he'll say, I think you can beat that. And it's very comforting, and it's very zen. It's not like he's not beating you over the head. Right. He's like, I think you can beat that. And then you'll do it again, and he's like, good, we got it. It's just very comforting working with him on vocals.
Can we expect another single video? Is that going to be the trend coming up soon?
Oh yeah, we got plenty more songs on the album, and then I'm always writing because I'm part of the song game. So we're gonna be touring, starting.
Yeah, talk to me. Why don't we come into our hometown here in the East?
I'm not allowed to announce it yet, but it's gonna be announced really soon, and I wish I could. But I've been sworn to secrecy. But yeah, we're going out on the road in April, and we're going to be touring, hopefully through the end of the year, and I'm, and working on the next FLA album.
Well, I do the dice game. I'm not Andrew Dice Clay, but I do the dice game, John. So I meet you and the guys before or after the show, and we roll the dice. And if you get 5 of a kind in 3 rolls, I play the entire album on my radio show.
I love it.
And
hey,
it's only happened.
I love playing craps. So I got to see you at the craps tables.
I love it. Go to fastestlandanimal.band and get it all. John, every time I listen to the album, my favorite switch, and I love My Mistake. I really like that song. I mean, I fell in love with 14.
That's got the 14 is one of my favorites.
I love that. In the moonlight, I'm like, my goodness. Can Cringe fans be? Well, I guess they could be. Are Cringe fans Fastest Land Animal fans?
Well, it seems like it. When we're touring with Tesla and Bad Marriage, a lot of those same fans recognize us and seem to like the music. I mean, it's just a little, the music's a little more punk, a little faster, but it's still like big. You know, we're shooting for the rafters. I'm singing to the bleachers. That's what it's all about. A big, huge rock show, and just, you know,
I wanted more. I'm like probably the only guy jumping up and down, going, and I know he's like, you know, you get to 26 minutes, okay, off, move the stuff, bad marriage, and then, you know, obviously Tesla. But I love the flow of the album. I told everybody to go get it. East Coast, West Coast, in between. Great band, great guy, wonderful wife, and good things are happening, man. And I only wish more, and I hope you enjoyed the conversation as much as I have, and can't wait to see you on the road.
We will see you too, my man, Pat Calamari.
Yeah, keeping new music alive right here. I'm Pat Soundbytes, and I'm taking a ride with the fastest slant animal, and it's not stopping. Go get it today.